Alright boys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we have our recent pre-bug build, the stunt build, sitting here in the middle of the workspace. And the reason being, if you saw in the last video I mentioned at the very end, we are going to be getting rid of this scooter. And we're actually trading it for the scooter that you will see later on in this video. Before we drop this thing off to its new owner, I want to do some last minute changes on it because I just had some things that I've been pushing off on doing. As you know, this was kind of like the stunt scooter I initially planned to bring to Ferry to Ferry. And then it ended up staying down here in Vegas, and then it became like pretty much the pass-off scooter for all the homies to ride, etc., etc. It's a fully built Yamaha pre-bug with the Stage 6 MK2 Sport Pro cylinder, Stage 6 bottom end, all the Stage 6 goodies here in the CVT, Stage 6 bell. This one has the Polini adjustable clutch on it. I want to say it's top performance front variator, if I can remember right. Polini CP carb, Stage 6 intake. It's got all the random bits on here with a upgraded Hyoko shock. It's got some new panels on it, just some black panels, and then it's got a little graphics kit that we put on, like anniversary style graphics. It's got the Zoom and Zuma LED headlights. These are a pretty big must on the pre-bugs. So, big upgrade right there. Got the little MOPBOYZ horn in there. And then simple up here, stock bars, just how I like it with a quick throttle. We got our Yasuni R exhaust, de-restricted. We got the JDM style tail, and then for everyone who always asks about these seat covers, these are just a Thrill Seeker seat cover with a custom MOPBOYZ patch on them, and they're very, very easy to install. This one's the gripper version of the seat. Just like all my other pre-bug builds, we actually go in here and we cut the bottom of the seat out when we put the cover on because there's a plastic hump in here. That thing, after riding for like 20 minutes, you can feel that plastic hump through the seat here. So we rode it the other day when we finished the green one up, and it's super dialed, carbon tune and everything wise. It's running really, really good. The only thing now is it has a bent wheel. You saw a while ago in the videos, you can't really tell from here, but the wheel is bent on it. So I'm going to go ahead and swap that wheel out for this one. The only problem is now the homie's not going to have the rim stickers on the back. No more custom MOPBOYZ rim strips for bros, but that's okay. Get this thing dialed, and then we're going to be driving it out to Cali. Pretty much meet up halfway and then trade off the scooters. And I'm so excited for you guys to see the rest of this. So let's get this crushed out. We're also going to throw the carb back on this BWS and a few other little things so it's running again, because we took the carb off a long time ago and this thing's just been sitting. Goodbye to a pre-bug. That means we're only going to have 3 pre-bugs now in this garage. We went from like having 7 in here last year, and we're narrowing down the pre-bugs, but we're collecting a bigger style of collection of different bikes. Also make sure the back wheel's not bent, right? For a while now on the BWS, we took the carb off to use it on another bike for tuning, so it's time to throw this carb back in this bike, plug everything back in, get this thing fired up. So we got to put the cooling shroud back on as well. It's been a while since we had this thing running. It feels good. We're going to be grabbing something that has been probably the most requested thing on the channel right now, and we have to give up the most recent pre-bug build in order to do so. We're making a trade, and we're driving out to California right now. We're loaded up, and we're at the biggest gas station with 100 pumps. Most American thing ever. Saying goodbye to old girl. Last look at her. Got the Zoom headlights. MOPBOYZ everywhere else. MOPBOYZ things everywhere on here. You see it, boys. She's full, boys. She's coming. Waiting for the boy to roll up right now. This is the last and final goodbye to her. It's been nice. Thanks, dude. Uh-oh. Alright, as you can see, we now have a Typhoon. We got rid of the pre-bug and we grabbed a Typhoon. If you're not from America, these are probably more common, but being in America, these are hard to find. I've been looking for one off and on for years now, especially on the West Coast. yeah, this is what it is. And it's got the Hyper engine in it, pretty much the same as the GP1 I had, which I went to do an RC1 on. And we have big plans for this, but yet no plans. So it's kind of in a half build process right now, where I believe this has a 70 kit in it. I don't think he knew exactly what brand it was. I'll have to go back to our messages and look, but it has a 70 kit. You can see in here, it has a Malosi 360 style intake on it, and then it has a big Polini PWK style carb. It looks like a 26 millimeter, maybe a 28. I believe it's a 26. And then this looks like a Yasuni R pipe, and we have a couple other pipes that came with it, but this is just what's on it right now. It's interesting. It looks like a big version of a prebug. I'm not a huge fan of the naked bar setup that's on there. It has the straight stem and then the straight bars. These bars are like really, really flat, so they feel a little awkward. If you've seen on all the prebugs when I talk about them, I do not like the naked handlebars just because the OEM bars feel a little bit better. These ones are obviously completely loose right now, so it's really, really sketchy, but they're really flat barred. It almost feels like you're riding like a Razor foldable scooter, so it's a little goofy feeling. We have a stage 6 digital gauge. Currently does not have it wired up for a lot of the activities that go on this thing, so it was not even lit up when I started. I think the battery's dead as well. This has a disc brake front end, but oddly enough, if you look up here at the lever, cable brake driven down into below the plastics, and it turns to somehow a hydraulic brake. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure that one out. I've never seen anything like that before. It's super interesting, but I feel like it also has a little slack to it. You can literally hear it, the fluid. So interesting. And then it has the actual brake reservoir in here. When I was first looking at photos of this, I thought this thing was like liquid cooled because it looked like a radiator was in here. And then on the back side, the previous owner, since he went naked bars, he got rid of a lot of the buttons that were on the cluster. So he put the electric start down here, and then on this side, the blinkers down here, which it doesn't look too bad, but actually is kind of a useful thing. I never run the blinkers or anything when we go naked bars. We lose a lot of like the OEM luxuries when you usually do the naked bars with like the speedo and all the buttons and everything like that, but he tried to maintain everything going on here. So overall, it's pretty damn clean, and it runs. It doesn't run that great though. I test rode it and it was pretty damn boggy, but that was first kick, and I haven't started since yesterday, so fires right up. And then he has a manual petcock in here too, which is kind of like a twist one, which I've seen a lot on like the Aeroxes and everything like that. But that's the blinker. The blinkers do not flash, probably because he doesn't have the front ones on right now. So the flasher relay is not even working, but it looks like some tinted lenses. Does brake light work? Brake light works. Orange brake light. Stock shock. I don't know what is in the CVT area. I haven't taken that cover off. It looks like he hooked up the speedo sensor back here with a bracket, which looks really clean, but he doesn't have the magnet on the wheel. He told me that, so it's not hooked up fully yet, but stock center stand. The plastics are repainted. They don't look terrible. This seat is actually massive on this thing. It's so interesting looking compared to a lot of the prebugs. We got to see right now though, do we have seat storage? Check out oh. But I'm hoping to make this kind of like the stunt scooter and possibly swap it out for what we usually ride a prebug for. This right here is a game changer because every time we ride the prebugs on a ride out, one, we can't bring extra gas and we run out of gas sometimes, so we have to bum gas off someone else. Two, carrying oil bottle and tools and all that, near impossible on a Zuma. There's no under seat storage, there's nothing. You have to like zip tie it to the rack or carry a backpack. This could be a game changer. It looks like it still has the oil pump, which I'm sure we're gonna end up going premix. Not sure if he even has oil in there. He might already be going premix. I probably should have asked him that. It's probably battery. And interesting. It looks pretty like ordinary compared to a lot of the other scooters I have. Like the F12 is like super exotic, but it's kind of growing on me already. I like the back part of it, but the front kind of looks a little goofy. Look at the front of it. Damn, I didn't even notice this. It's got the side pegs, the passenger pegs. But yeah, she had a little bit of a bog in the top end on it when I rode it the other day. Doesn't sound... Oh my god, that thing's walking. Look at that thing. Oh, she needs some tuning though right there. Oh my gosh. This is kind of just like the first look at it, because last night when we picked it up I didn't even really look at it that much, but it is what it is, and it's actually a lot cleaner than I thought it was actually going to be. So I thought it was going to be pretty banged up. The previous owner, the reason he painted it is because he looped it. He got rid of the handlebars because he bent the handlebars when he crashed it. So usually when you're picking up a bike like that, it's kind of scary because you don't know what else is messed up on it. But from what I could see before we take everything off, everything looks pretty good. It kind of has a weird, like, look how much play is in the motor mount. This motor mount down here has some play to it. Huh. I like how this thing has like a little fork guard. It looks like a dirt bike. That's funny. And the wheels are pretty cool on this. It looks like prebug wheels, but they have like a little different design to them. Probably one of the most requested scooters on the channel. So I'm hoping a lot of you guys are stoked on this, because we're going to go full out build on this thing. I'm debating right now if we should put in the RC1 engine into this, or should we build this air-cooled engine? Because the RC1's rear disc brake, it's 94cc, fully built, water-cooled, and we can always slap this in there. We never ride the RC1 with the GP1, because the GP1 is just like, it's a big, uncomfortable, awkward bike. But this would be killer to put the RC1 in. This is the most concerning part though of the scooter, and the homie did tell me beforehand, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but there's JB weld, and when he bent the bars, a piece of the stem bent, and then he went to do the naked bar, and these naked bars are mostly meant for like the Minarelli style scooters, like the Zumas, etc. And they don't have this cutout in them to latch it on there. So he used JB weld to kind of get the stem to stay onto it. I'm not gonna lie, that sketches me out. I could see a cutout right here where the bolt's supposed to run through that holds the bars onto the actual stem of the fork, and it only has one bolt holding these handlebars on right now by this stem. So we will probably end up doing something with that. I'm curious to know if we should swap the RC1 into this bike, because it will make this bike not such a stunt bike, because that motor is just so damn aggressive. But it would be pretty sick. So for all the people who have been asking for a Typhoon, I need you to leave in the comments right now what you want to see with this, because you guys have been begging to see a Typhoon on the channel, and we finally got one. Things like this stem. There's got to be a better stem that's for the Typhoon, for the naked bars, that goes into the stock mount down here, so it's not so sketchy. So if you know what you're talking about with these Typhoons, let me know in the comments below, because we need to get this thing dialed in. But we're gonna tighten these bars real quick, and then I'm gonna take this thing on a little test run just as is, because we're not gonna be messing with this thing today, because honestly I'm probably gonna tear the whole motor apart and do everything before we even actually start riding this thing. We're probably not gonna go off this build, and it's full build or no build, so that's how we always do it. Let's get this thing dialed. Watch out, dog. Let's get this thing dialed in real quick. All right, we are about to go give the Typhoon its first little test ride. Just from when I rode it and started it up, I could tell the tune is off, so it's gonna be a little bit boggy, but just to get a feel for the scooter and before we change things, we kind of gotta see what we're working with right now. So she runs good, she starts up good, she just rides like shit. Let's go try it out. The stage 6 gauge isn't working at all right now, so I'm assuming he might have it hooked directly to the battery and not off the charging system, because it's not running when the motor's actually running. It's boggy though. Oh, she's running lean, bro. She's running lean. Oh my gosh, she's running lean right there. That's gnarly. She needs some fuel, boys. She's got a big carb on it too. Oh my god. We gotta get this thing going. Oh, okay, now she's back. She is not happy. We might not get too much riding on this Typhoon as is, but I need to know what you guys want to see down in the comments down below. Like, I strictly got this scooter because I get a lot of the Zumas, stuff like that, because they're my favorite scooters. Now, this might become one of my favorite scooters, I don't know, but I strictly got this one for all the boys. All the boys who comment to get a Typhoon, this one's gonna be for you guys, so. It's good when you're not in the throttle too much, the tune. Homie was stoked on it. It was good when you're like quarter throttle, but right when you give it some gas, man, she gets that bog in her. So we got a lot of work to do, boys, but like I said, I'm really debating right now before I even order any parts if we should build this engine and just go air cooled, keep it a nice solid stunt bike but simple, or do we go all out? Because if I'm going to do a water cooler conversion at that point, I might as well just take the RC1 out of the GP1, which we never ever ride, and maybe putting it in a more enjoyable chassis like this one. I think this chassis would be obviously insane to ride with an RC1 in it, but I think comfortability wise and everything, I might enjoy it more. It might be more fun. The RC1 would even be crazier than this bike, because I think this is a way lighter bike than the GP1 is. The GP1 is massive, 13-inch wheels, etc. on it. So I don't know, boys. What do you guys want to see? Leave a comment down below right now what you want to see with the Typhoon, boys. We did it. We got ourselves a Piaggio Typhoon hyper engine. We got a lot of potential here and now, boys. We got a lot of potential here now, boys. We need to get these handlebars situation figured out, though. We got some wiring to do, definitely some cosmetics, and most importantly, engine. There's potential right now with the engine, but I just would prefer if we go full build. If I build a Typhoon, I want to do it how I want to do it. So sadly, I probably could have found one that was bone stock, a little bit more useful for me, because I'm going to go building it anyways, but it is what it is. I'll show you guys some of the parts that we got with it as well. It feels good though. I actually like it. For a big scooter, it feels like a smaller scooter. I just don't like these handlebars. Alright, so here's some of the other bits the homie threw in here. I think this is for the gauge, but we got the stock cluster. Like I said, the handlebars were bent, so he didn't have the handlebars, but I actually like the stock cluster. That's actually pretty cool. I actually like that. Paperwork for it. Here's the front of the headset. I think he said it was broken. Oh yeah, right there. No problem. Looks like it's got some carbon fiber looking lenses on it. And then here, now this one, I believe he said was a C16. Yeah, that looks like a C16. So he pretty much painted it because it was all rusty and everything like that. So he went through, refinished this pipe. Not bad. Pretty stoked on that. And then we got a stage 6 pipe. Not sure which one. Maybe the replica. Oh, right here. Pro replica. Boom. There we go. Don't know what that is. Silencer for that. Some rollers. Another variator. And a clutch bell. And whatever's in here. Belts. And a stage 6 contra. And a pull choke. So we got some bits in here. I'm stoked on the C16. We might use that actually for what build we're. Oh wait, no. Oh yeah, because we have. I was about to say we have another C16 up there, but I forgot, boys. We're not Minarelli no more, boys. We are Piaggio, as you see right there. So I'm stoked for that. We actually will probably end up using this pipe because that Usuni R might not be enough for what we use if we go with the cylinder build, or do we take the good old 94cc RC1 rear disc brake setup right out the GP1 and plop it right in our Piaggio Typhoon? I don't know, boys. This is a hard decision right now. I don't know. Let me know. That's gonna do it for this one, boys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.